It's good to have you on television. But next year in Washington, for years, as you know, Taoiseach, we celebrated this St. Patrick's Day. I always put on a breakfast at my home, and as the Vice President's residence with leading Irish Americans, your ambassador, our ambassador, as well as some of the prelates who were involved with us, and it was always a good time. Then we'd go into this very office. You'd sit in the chair over here, the Taoiseach would sit there, and I'd sit where my national security advisor is sitting, and we'd have a long discussion with the president, and then we'd go up to the United States Capitol, where the Speaker of the House, starting with Tip O'Neill, would put on an event as well, and then I always snuck over the Irish Embassy later. I hope we can do that next year. I hope we can do that next year. And in the meantime, I want to thank you for the Shamrock Bowl. I don't know whether you can see it here, but it's a great tradition, a custom that goes all the way back to Harry Truman, who have a bust of Harry Truman over in that corner. I noticed he didn't move to grab any of the shamrocks. And tonight, Taoiseach, I hope you'll be able to see it at least remotely. We're going to light up the White House in green, and to celebrate the deep affection that we Americans have, particularly Irish Americans have, for Ireland and the people of Ireland. And it includes millions of Americans, like my great-great-grandfather and my great-grandfather and my grandfather, all of whom were Irish Americans on both sides of the family. My grandfather, Ambrose Finnegan, who was a great football player, American football, and a newspaper man back at the turn of the 20th century, used to always say when he was much older and I'd walk out of his home, he'd say, "Joey, remember, the best drop of blood in you is Irish." I remembered it, I promise you. And because if I didn't, my grandmother, Geraldine Blewett Finnegan, would take me down. And we have a lot of great memories as well in our family, because one of your predecessors I went over. I've been to Ireland many times, but the first time I went to actually go back and look at my roots and meet my family was back when the last year I was Vice President of the United States. And we went both to Mayo, where the Blewitts are from, and Ballina, the city, and we went to County Louth, where the Finnegans are from. And it was a great opportunity for me to show my grandchildren and children and my brother and sister. I joked at the time, but after I left, I wondered why the hell we left in the first place. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And so I think, there's a lot of folks here in Ireland. My friends from Ireland would always say, the American Irish think they're more Irish than the Irish. But the truth of the matter is that we have a great affection for the country and a great affection for the tradition. And we have Ireland and the United States have a robust agenda that we got to deal with on the substantive side of these issues. Taoiseach, and from combating COVID to strengthening global health security to also discussing our economic cooperation and Ireland's leadership now in the UN Security Council, which we're working together. Our UN ambassador is online with us here, and I just welcome the leadership and your partnership. And my view and the view of my predecessor, of the Obama-Biden administration on the Good Friday agreements. We strongly support them, think it's critically important to be maintained. And the political and economic stability of Northern Ireland is very much in the interest of all our peoples, the people-to-people ties. And I think the idea that we talked about renewing our partnership in the All-Ireland Consortium, Cancer Consortium, the U.S., Ireland, and Northern Ireland. It's a partnership that I think we can learn a lot from one another. It's one of the things that as president, Taoiseach, I am going to focus heavily on, with our National Institute of Health, on dealing with cancer. We've all been victims of it in terms of our families. We all know what it's like, and we're going to make major investments in NIH and cancer research and development, and I'm looking forward to working together. As a matter of fact, my relatives in Mayo just dedicated Loretta, one of my cousins, headed up the hospice effort for cancer, not just cancer, but hospice in Ireland. And they just dedicated a new significant facility to my son, Beau Biden, who died of cancer. And so everything between Ireland and the United States runs deep. Taoiseach, our joys, our sorrows, our passion, our drive, and our unrelenting optimism and hope. One of the few quotes that I've been given credit for in my career was, I said, but I mean it, maybe it's just my family, I said, we Irish are the only people who are nostalgic for the future. And I think we are. It's a great opportunity for you and I to get to talk a little bit. So I'm looking forward to our conversation, and I'm looking forward to getting deeper into discussion about some of the things that are of great mutual interest to both of us. But as we used to say in the United States Senator, Taoiseach, I yield the floor to you.